And we're back with another episode of Brew Your Mind, the podcast where we get to drink coffee and beer, and you get to sit back and listen to us ramble about what's on our minds. I'm Justin, and with me today...
Oh, boy, you know who it is. I'm Justin. Justin
That's him.
one.
I'm Jesse.
Hello, everyone. How are you? My name is Jesse. I'm brand new to the podcast. I'm out of breath because I'm so excited. I was just dancing. Dancing while you were doing the intro there, boy. You didn't know it.
What are you doing?
It's because we can't see each other. Man, I was doing that good old Brewmeister.
The Brewmeister. Welcome, Brew Crew.
Brewmeister.
Welcome to the podcast. Here we are, episode 24, where things get interesting, where decisions get made, people get voted off the island. Before we even dive into that,
yes.
Before we find out who wants to be a millionaire, what are you drinking today?
Me. All right, okay. So
you.
I'm a little bit in the old mainstream avenue today. All right. Might get some hate on it. You know what I'm drinking? Let me get it. Got it for the camera here. I got a Starbucks coffee, boy.
Oh.
It's a dark roast. I'm sorry, no, it's medium roast. It's a Yukon. It says Yukon on it. All right.
Love that.
Here's what I think. I love it. All right. I live right next to a Starbucks, and here, people always trying to be hating on Starbucks because it's so mainstream. You know how people do.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? It's good to me. I grew up drinking Folgers, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was down in the weeds, down in the dirt. I was eating dirt, drinking dirt coffee. You know what I mean? I didn't know no better.
Yeah.
And it's still good to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm down in here. I want to represent Starbucks today because they need it.
Put them on the map.
I just think there's some freedom in being able to go some mainstream.
Yeah.
And not care about what people think. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So that's what I'm drinking, and I got that oat milk in it. And I see people sitting their weeks off to an 11 with it. Mm-hmm. I'm here it's Sunday. I'm here trying to start this week off.
Love
11.
That, by sending off to 11.
Maybe one day at 12.
Whoa, let's not get ahead of ourselves quite yet.
Wait, man, we
pump the brakes there.
We're on the moon, man. And we're going to Mars soon.
Astronaut life. That's what we're living here on Brew Your Mind. Don't even know what we're saying right now, but I'm going to dive into my drink. I got this beer that's from Cali. Got a Cali beer. Got out of the shop head on base. It's called Three Weavers Blood Junkie. It looks crazy, like this red skull. It scared me by buying it, so I had to try it. It says Imperial Red Ale. 8.7%.
Whoa. Okay, you try that. I forgot to shut my door. Tell me what you think about it.
All right, I will, as you're shutting your door. My pour was really bad. Yikes. So I'm going to drink out of the can. Here we go.
Is it good, dude?
Whoa.
Do you like it?
You can tell that. I'm back. You can tell that. Hey, welcome back. I finished my whole beer while you were gone.
Oh, man. Alcoholic.
I know.
What?
I can't stop drinking.
I heard that pour a little bit. I like that.
You know the Brew Your Mind ASMR that we do every week. We keep it real, keep it fresh in your ears. This beer, though, 8.7%. You can taste every percentage about it. Feels pretty strong and heavy, But red ales, I like them. They're good. Give you a solid 7.5 out of 10. And I'm going to try to babysit it because I don't want to be buck wild by the time this episode is finished. You know what I'm saying, man?
Man, I know what you're saying. Oh, by the way, I'm coming up this week with Fresh Haircut. You can call me Fresh Haircut from now on. Big haircut, big tuna. All right,
Big tuna.
What's something?
Fresh haircut. You looking good.
Something amazing about getting a haircut, dude.
I tell you what, haircut days are the best days.
And that was like going on a month and a half or 2. A month and a half.
Oh, you're savage. I'm looking over my left right now because I know I'll be looking at you in the video, and I love what I see right there.
Yeah, you like that, dude? I know it's good. I'm telling you.
You're just modeling right now, aren't you? Just run your hand through it.
Dude.
Yeah, I see you right now.
So what's been going on this week with you? What's good? Actually, you know what? I don't care about your week right now.
You want to do some housekeeping? You want to do some episode housekeeping, podcast housekeeping before we dive into our lives?
Yeah, I want to talk about this week and the immense love that I've seen from some people. Unusual this week. There's been about, several people sharing this podcast on their Instagrams or whatever. And I love it, man. I mean, one person does it, and it's just like, it means so much. So I really appreciate everyone taking the time to do that, because it really, every time it happens, me and Justin message each other. You see that? Oh, that man, that's cool. It means a lot. Feels like we're doing something right, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's it.
Piggyback off of Fresh Haircut, Big Tuna, big haircut over there. Yeah, it's huge. Whenever I get on the IG page to Brew Your Mind and I see like a mention or something, of course I share it to a story, because I have to let other people know that there's actually people talking about us or listening. But it's really great that you guys are that you're sharing it, you're enjoying it. Because I mean, just one share, just one person seeing your story, they plug in and they start listening to it, and it's that snowball. It's a snowball Jesse and I are talking about, and we love it and we see it, and it's kind of surreal too, because here we are, we're just two really, really good friends talking on a podcast, just rambling, drinking and rambling. And what'd you say? Two Asian people?
Two amazing people.
Oh, I thought you were talking about we're Asian. I was like, what?
I wish.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy that you guys are enjoying it that much, and we just want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts, because you guys are the best. On that note, we want to talk about what's coming up. What's coming up with this episode, or what's coming up with this podcast. Big things, all right? Bullet 1.1 would be merchandise. People are already asking about it. You already see the Brew Your Mind mugs floating around. Merch is coming. Jesse and I, we've been doing some research, looking at online stores, looking at products and whatnot. We're going to start small, of course, because this is where we're at. But definitely be on the lookout here soon for some big sweeping changes in that area.
Yeah.
Anything to add to that?
I feel like we both want to do it right with,
exactly.
a merch that we really like and would want to wear or use ourselves. So for me, it's going to be really important that we get, I want designs to look really good and the quality to be really, really good. That you'd want to just, because my favorite merch that I've bought from people that I either know or, whoever it's been, I would want to wear it by itself, not necessarily that it says who it is on it, but the design looks good. And so I'm trying to think of ways. But I definitely want to get the mugs going soon. I think that's an important, I think we've been getting requests for that a lot, but that'd be cool. Yeah. I don't even have one yet. I got one in the mail for Kyle. Congratulations, Kyle. You got the mug before me. Mug.
Oh, there's a mug en route to you, though. It'll be there.
Oh, yeah, there is.
I bet you by next episode, you'll be drinking out of your Brew Your Mind mug. And I think think mugs definitely should be the first and starting point, because, I mean, it's kind of a staple to the show. Yeah. So we'll probably start there and then move on to some apparel. But yeah, like Jesse said, quality means the most out of us, not necessarily quantity. So you guys, we'll try to deliver great products to you that we would want to see ourselves in, and not just make you guys walking advertisements for us.
That's right. So
be on the lookout. We're making money moves over here. And the second thing would have to be, this is episode 24. Next episode's 25. And we thought that would be a good point to take a week or two off after that. Maybe 3,
it's over.
We'll see.
It's over.
And call it quits. We've had a good run. We'll see you guys in 2021. No, kidding. On iTunes, on Apple Podcasts, they break it down by seasons. So we feel like season 1 will be up until about episode 25. So next episode will be our season finale before we take a small break. And then we'll come
Maybe we'll do an extra long one, maybe hour and a half or something. We'll throw in some, we'll make sure to get some questions from everyone we can go through. Something like that, to really encapsulate the
one more
25.
Q&A before the season shuts down. So
sure.
It's crazy that already episode 24, here we are in 25 next week. It's hard to believe that many episodes have gone by with this show, and there's no signs of stopping. So all you haters out there, keep hating.
Kick rocks,
I don't know what I'm saying. Just kick rocks, eat birdseed. So we're gonna do that, and then the new The new season will be fresh, new title format, all that kind of stuff. We'll try to come up with new ways to keep you guys entertained. And then next thing you know, there'll probably be some in-person episodes. Yeah, it's getting close. On that note, this past week, in contract with the new house at the undisclosed location in the undisclosed state, doing big things, doing some adult things. Feel pretty good about it, but that's really it about the show. That's really it about my past week. What else do you have to add to it?
I'm gonna call you Big House.
Big house. Big house. I'll call you Big Haircut.
Big Haircut. You big house. Big real estate man. Businessman coming at your grown up style. Bridges pulled up to the shoulders.
Style. Shoulders fresh.
For me this week, man, I don't know. I've just been drowning in work. I don't know. Really, not much to it. Just besides constantly keeping in mind all the people listening to this, everyone's doing different activities. You know, some people listen to this when they drive into work. Listen, drive faster, drive harder. Yeah. Some people be in the gym listening to this, you know, lifting weights, lift harder, lift faster, lift better. You know what I mean? Some people just be sitting at work harder, top faster. You know what I mean? How many words per minute can you get? I don't even know, but beat me. Try it. You know what I mean?
That's your motivation for this week, people. I think you covered everyone there too. If you're eating right now, eat faster. Don't slow down. Choke. No, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Okay.
BMT style.
BMT. You got 2 minutes.
I love that.
Man, those were the days, huh?
Those were the days. Oh, you know what? Let's jump into our first subject. Something hot off the press on my mind. Interesting. Okay. I don't know how far you're comfortable going into it. And the funny theme of it is it's 8:40 right now, and Katie's trying to get me to go to church with her this morning at 11. We'll see. She's still asleep. Well, my point being, all right, Rhett and Link. Has everyone heard of Rhett and Link? Two big YouTubers, podcasters,
get a little more of
giants
a backstory
of the platform. All right, these dudes have been around for a while. They're two dudes. They're 41, 42 now. Best friends. They've been making content together for, I don't know, 15 years probably.
They've basically been our motivation of like how we want to be. But go on.
Yeah. They have a podcast called Ear Biscuits, and it's not their main thing by any means, but it's something they do on the side. But I love the format, and I love it's pretty similar. I don't think they get quite as deep a lot of the time. I'm not saying we're deep, but I don't think they're willing to get as around touchy subjects most of the time because they kind of keep their audience a well-rounded, inviting place, not alienating anyone. But they had a couple episodes. And backstory to these guys, these are two like Southern guys, pretty typical kind of Christian-y, you know what I mean?
North Carolina.
They're from North Carolina, so
the Bible Belt.
So I relate to their growing up story almost exactly. And if you want to listen to their podcast, Ear Biscuits, they've got a few episodes. They've got one called Rhett's Deconstruction of Faith, and a separate one, Link's Deconstruction of Faith. And basically they just talk about their journey from being Christians and while they were Christians deep in it to the point to where they're both now agnostic, meaning they don't know a lot of things, and they're openly like at that point, which is a pretty crazy. I don't know about you, Justin, but for me, that's a pretty crazy point to get to, openly acknowledging that you're at that point. Because I haven't really done that openly, I guess, but but coming from where they're from and all the family deeply rooted in Christianity. So I get it. It's almost it's really part of your deep history, culture, going to church, these things.
They've been living over these past 40 years.
That's the only world that
there's no
know.
other.
And I'll find myself, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I find myself gravitating towards similar people a lot of the times, not because of wanting to at all pursue Christianity or get further into that and explore it, but just because these people are a familiar thing to me. It's like you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like you can relate to these types of people. And so, what were you going to say?
Yeah, I was going to say, just before you dive a little bit further, I would like to highlight the fact that here they are. They've made it. They're at this point now where everyone, most people know who Rhett and Link are. They've gone to award shows. They've probably been on the trending YouTube page.
Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon. They've been. I mean, they're on the spotlight now. They've made it. They're doing what they wanted to do. And I just not really dive into how I feel about what they're coming out with, but more of the fact that I kind of like applaud them for their bravery of actually coming out and saying this kind of stuff. Because I mean, they know they're going to get some kind of backlash. They're probably going to lose some fans. But the best thing about it, and like core value to us when it comes to doing the show, is kind of remain personal. So the listeners can relate to you. They can kind of understand where you're coming from, understand what you're saying, and they took that to the extreme. I mean, this is something that is something they haven't done. In the 3-4 years that they've done a podcast, and so many years that they've done YouTube, they've kept it kind of like on the surface. You see the surface of Rhett and Link throughout all the stuff that they do. You don't really get to dive deeper into their personal lives. Yeah, they'll talk about their day or whatnot. Something like kind of like what we do. Yeah. But to do this and to dive into the deep trenches of their past 10, 12 years of going through this, I say it's pretty brave of them. And it's a risk business side, but I think it's very healthy for them to do it on a personal side.
Yeah, it's pretty wild because, they're established and they've got, it's like you don't want to mess with the machine at all at a certain point. So doing something like that almost seems like, for both of them, they're so calculated. They're good at what they do. Everything is like top tier calculations. Like even the thumbnails, I heard them talking about, for each video, we'll have like 3 thumbnails. We'll have the first one, and if that one doesn't work as well, we'll have plan B. We'll throw that on. If that one doesn't work well, we have a third one, which is insane because they put out videos all the time, and they have people making thumbnails, like test audience, to see which one is picking up better, and then they'll use that format. It's just pretty wild. So, of course, everything they do is so calculated. But, sorry, I'm like burping coffee over here. Ugh.
Let it out. It's fine. Big haircut.
But, I just relate to their story a lot because it's definitely something I've been not really struggling with, but just kind of not really giving much thought in the past 8 years or so. Like my faith, I don't really pursue it that much. When I go to church, it's only to kind of appease someone, I guess, or meet a friend or something. And it sounds awful, but I grew up, there's a lot of both of the themes that they're saying, especially Link, when he goes through his growing up. I grew up like very, very extremely like into the Christianity. Like that was my world. And my mindset was so wildly different. I felt guilty about doing anything wrong, cussing. I didn't drink. I didn't do anything wrong. I mean, you know what I mean? I stayed away from quote unquote like sin as much as I could all the time. And I kind of grew up thinking I don't know, I just grew up kind of feeling guilty a lot for no real reason, I guess, now that I look back on it. And it's kind of similar. They're talking about the coming out thing and with their faith, and they kind of relate it to someone who's like maybe gay coming out. And that's probably the thing I can relate to the most, that I had I'm not going to blame it on the church or blame it on any one person for my mindset, but I feel like I grew up having a hard time coming to grips with like gay people, I guess. And a lot of it was, I guess, because of the way in church, it was preached a different way. And it still is in a lot of places, but, that's one example of just why was I so prejudiced against people for no reason, I guess. So I don't know. I'm not really sure how to elaborate. I would just listen to their podcasts, and I relate to it a lot.
Has listening to that and them describing a little bit further, has it kind of like opened your eyes a little bit, or like make you want to dive deeper into how you feel and how your faith is kind of aligned?
Well, it's almost like I already knew how I felt. They were just saying things that I was like, couldn't even really articulate a lot of the time. I guess so. So I don't know. I've always had this, even when I was like playing music at church, like I was like, pretty deep into it. I always felt the sense of being a phony. You know what I mean? It just kind of, and I feel like I've done that a lot in my life where I've made certain choices based on expectations, sort of. And I'm not going to talk about what choices exactly, but I've done a lot of that because of the way, this is what you're supposed to do. And this is this is the path that you're going on. This is what you're supposed to do. And I jumped into a lot of things, at times just because of expectations. And now I'm at the point I question, I kind of question everything. Like I don't fully buy into anything. I don't fully buy into a presidential candidate. I don't fully buy into the military. I've been in for 8 years. You think I'd be bought into the Air Force? I'm not. There's still a lot of things I'm detached from,
That's just how you are as a person.
Yeah, so I just question. I think it's just just because I felt like I've made mistakes with mindsets and this and that because I was just like going with the flow and this is how I thought and didn't really think about it. It's just how it was. But I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't want to go on like I'm over here like preaching I'm being agnostic and all these things. It's just what they're saying is really interesting about how they're being open about how they've been questioning things for so long and not talking about it.
Yeah, and so you can check them out. They dive into Rhett's, who's like an hour 57 because he talks a lot. That man talks a lot, and what was interesting to me was that, I mean, Rhett comes off as a person that likes to kind of like know it all. He likes to. He doesn't like being wrong.
No.
So that kind of person, and you can hear him talk, that kind of person, you wouldn't be that surprised that he went through this kind of process, went through this kind of change, because he just has to, he's the kind of person that just has to see everything through and actually like actually discover it for himself instead of just going off of hearsay kind of stuff. So that was not, it's not too surprising, I guess you could say. Link a little bit different, like a little bit different of a person when like watching and listening to him. So that was a little bit of a surprise to hear his side as well. But yeah, I mean, you mentioned that, you're from the South and you were born in, I mean, you were born into that lifestyle basically, which was completely different from me. And that could just show the difference between the South and the North a little bit. And still to this day could still be around, or that's just how my family was. But church and faith was definitely never, it wasn't never like put in front, like you got to do this, you got to go through this. And it was just like, it was kind of like on a side pocket, and kind of like your back pocket, I guess you say. So I never really focused on it too much when I was a kid. And then like, through middle school, there was this neighbor, her name's Beth. I'll never forget her name. Beth, she's about 55 at this time. And, she was working at like this local church or whatever. And she's like, you should come along. So I go along, and I think it's like 6th grade that I'm in. And from that point forward, I get involved in youth group, meets up Wednesday nights, go to church Sunday. And this was still in Wisconsin. And then, I got baptized 6th grade as well later that year because that was, I finally felt connected, So after that, we moved away from Wisconsin, moved to Texas. So we moved more towards the Baptist South, all the Baptist churches around, and there goes that disconnect again. But I never felt like I was completely disconnected like I was when I was a kid. It was more of a, I know where my faith still aligns, but I'm just not that integrated as I was. So it wasn't until go ahead.
Tough. Yeah. No, go ahead. I don't want to cut off your thing.
Oh no, you're good. I was kind of giving a background. I wasn't going too much into detail about where I stand and whatnot, but I know I know with my family, it wasn't the main priority, and that could just been the northern side of things. And then I met Tori and her family from the South, a little bit different. And then, my what am I trying to say? My switch. That's what it is. I'm just snapping my fingers over here trying to say switch. Switch flipped, and it's kind of more of the lifestyle that I was expecting to live all my life, I guess, And as the Christian I am, I like to. Is there such thing as a closet Christian? Is that a term? Like, I know what I believe in. I'm knowledgeable of what I believe in.
Yeah.
But I haven't gotten to the point where I express what I believe in publicly all the time.
Yeah.
So whenever there is discussion about religion, faith, Christianity, and all that kind of stuff, I tend to take the back seat, listen, observe, and I really haven't got to the point where I want my voice to be heard, if that kind of makes sense. I felt like I was rambling there for a little bit, and I apologize, but
no,
I kind of just getting a little background.
I felt the same, which I think was. I want to clarify that I'm not criticizing the way I grew up. I feel like it was good, and I loved some of the greatest people I've known, are some of the people I've met through church, of course, and some of the most disappointing and shocking people I've known. I have also been in a church, but that's okay. But yeah, you were saying like. I guess that's why I felt like I had struggled for so long was I never felt like two different ways. I can never feel like if someone came at me and wanted me to defend my faith, there's no way I could, which made me which kind of like made me feel like I didn't want to represent this as a part of me unless I felt in my bones it was real and I could defend it. And I could, because the older I get, the more I'm like, I want whatever thoughts I'm marrying myself to. I want to make sure I have a strong foundation on why, instead of it just being a part of who I grew up as in this little bubble, or whatever. I just want it to be something I can for sure go on about and defend, I guess. Mm-hmm. And I felt like I never could even get close to that, so it felt like a phony thing. But on the opposite side, you put me up against someone who's well-versed in it, it's like I almost couldn't even defend to someone why I didn't believe, if that makes sense. So it's like somewhere you're somewhere in the middle, because you have both that can super persuade you, they're well-versed in the Bible histories, and then there's someone else that's well-versed in the contradictions and the things that have been proven scientifically that aren't even true, and then you're like, well, that's pretty convincing. And I don't know. I just feel like I don't want to sit in the middle. I don't want to say I'm voting for some candidate who I can't fully get behind. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to promote any idea, any brand, anything that I can't fully get behind. And I don't know. I guess that's what it boils down to for me is I just have a hard time. I don't know. I don't have peace about it. I didn't have peace about it when I was younger. And I'm on a path to trying to find, not happiness, just trying to find a peace of mind about things, about how I'm living my life, I guess. And when I'm trying to think about all that, it just brings a lot of, I don't know, just brings a lot of negativity in my head. I don't know. It's weird. I don't want to ramble about it, but I don't know. That's all I got. I'm pretty sure it's pretty clear where I'm at.
Okay. So I guess we won't dive into too much further. If anyone wants to talk to us more on a personal level, please reach out to us. And I guess the final thing I'll say about it is it's an interesting topic that Rhett and Link talk about. We dove into it a little bit. I think the big thing is, and not just talking about faith, Jesse talked about it, just presidential candidates, talking about any kind of ideas, anything in life where you have to pick and choose. Don't let it tear you apart is the big thing. You got a lot of people that sit in silence and they are stuck with these kind of decisions, and then they feel like they're forced to make one, and they're just not happy about that, and it's an inner struggle with them. You just got to speak up. You got to find someone to talk to. You got to find someone that will listen to you. Most importantly, not just talk to you, but someone that will listen to you, and then fight through it. It's that kind of thing. No one wants to see anyone struggle in silence. It's not a good thing, man. We getting deep again? Are we getting deep again on Brew Your Mind?
Well,
big haircut.
Big haircut. We could have ran probably a whole hour just on that. I think easy. Mm-hmm. There's so much to say about it.
I think we're just gonna wait until we have 500,000 listeners, and then we'll dive really into it. And we don't care if any of you guys stop listening. But now we care about you guys.
Yeah.
I want you to keep listening.
What's challenging about a subject like that is I want someone to at least that is well versed in one part, extreme this way or that way, to kind of chime in. So maybe one day we'll have a guest or something, that a subject we can get, but someone who can at least counter argue, help us understand. I don't know. Maybe not.
That's the problem with you and I. We like each other so much that we just won't argue with each other.
Well, yeah, we're not. We're probably
fight me, Jesse.
I don't know what we're going to argue about.
I know. Maybe that's a good thing.
We could have argued about that, but I think we just don't care. We respect each other's views so much. We're just like, yeah, man.
Exactly.
No big
that's
deal.
exactly what it comes
Live
down
your
to.
life.
It's like, yeah, man, you rule, dude. Whatever you want to do, I got your back.
Yeah.
And it's that kind of thing. So that's how we started the episode. Right there. Dive into that. If you guys, that was good. If you want to listen to more about that, I definitely recommend listening to Rhett and Link of what they talk about. I haven't heard them talk that long about a certain subject, so they really dive into it in some pretty good detail. There's also a YouTube video. What's that YouTube video that they popped up on a few days ago? Yeah, so a really pretty short one. The first one I saw was they popped up on another YouTube guy. Big guy, Phil DeFranco. He has a podcast called A Conversation With. That's it. Mm-hmm. Type that in and then type in Rhett and Link, and you'll see it. And shout out to my friend Colton, by the way. I want to tell this funny story about him. Shout out Colton. I showed up to work. I don't know if I told you this, Justin. I showed up to work the other morning. False advertising. He was on night shift, and he's the one who told me about this, and he was like, dude, you see Rhett and Link came out as gay? And I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, aren't they married, 40-something, have kids? That's a bizarre thing, I think, at that age to be. I don't know. I was like, how they? So anyway, he's like, yeah, they're on Phil DeFranco's podcast, and they came out as gay. One of them's leaving his wife, I think. And I was like, I've got to listen to this. This is insane. So I go to the video, and it has in the caption, the title, it just says, Rhett and Link come on about the aftermath of quote-unquote coming out agnostic. But there was the quote-unquote coming out in the thumbnail thing there, and I guess... And your boy ran with it. I don't know if he listened to any part of it, because if he did... he would have easily seen very quickly that the whole thing was about their faith, and the only mention they did of anything that was coming out, homosexual at all was Link was saying, I relate this coming out thing as someone coming out gay, not to equate the two, but he was saying it was almost like I was living a phony thing, and it's almost a certain freedom when you're, okay. That's all. And I text Colton. I was like, dude, I'm so mad at you. Because I don't know if he was just messing with me, but he never said he was. He was just like, oops, I made a mistake, whatever. Hilarious, though. So everyone, even if your best friend tells you some kind of news, you better fact check it immediately. Don't trust anyone. Right. That's right. Jeez, man. That's funny. Yeah, I remember. I think you told me that the other day. I think when you pointed out the video to me. But yeah, that's right. Oh, good times, man. Just follow up, trust but verify. Love that. So I know, right? So to lighten it up a little bit more, I got a question for you, Jesse. That question is, this is in regards to money, because money rules the world and money brings happiness. That's a bit sarcastic. So you have a choice. You can either get $100,000 tomorrow, or you can get $1 million in 10 years. Which option would you choose? How would you spend the money? And how different would you change your life? Like, would you stay in the military?
Oh. Ooh, boy.
I threw a lot of questions at you real quick there.
So I knew this question was coming. I knew this question was coming, but I gave no thought to it.
That's good. That's what we're supposed to do on this podcast. We don't think, we just talk.
My personality type, being short-sighted and spontaneous as it is, would say, give me $100,000 because I could die next week. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. However, there's a small part of me that's like, man, 10 years flies by. $1 million. I don't know. In 10 years.
Yeah.
I would probably take, honestly, I'm fine without the money. I would take the $1 million in 10 years and just stay with a stable job, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
10 years, that's it. But then again, what if I die next week, man? Damn.
Well, then you'll have me in your will and I'll get the $1 million.
Well, if I got $100,000 and I invested it all, would it be more?
That's an
option.
option.
In 10 years? Could flip it to more than $1 million if you're smart.
If you're smart. So what option would you choose?
I'd pick the $1 million because I know I wouldn't flip it. I'm not smart enough financially. I'd have to hire someone. Then I would be like, I don't know if I trust you. You're gonna like, I don't know.
For the next 10 years, I'm guessing you will live the most safest, healthiest life that you could possibly live.
I guess so, but isn't that what I'm doing now?
Yeah, basically.
I'm not out like crossing the road in the middle of traffic and like, hit me.
Hit me. I don't care. No. So, okay, how would you spend that $1 million 10 years from now, though? 10 years from now, it will be, let's see, we've been at the same time, so it would have been like, you've been in the military maybe for 18 years if you're still in. Would you stay in or call it quits right there? Or
if I was 18, I'd just go another 2. Why not? Get that retirement.
Why not? Okay. And how you spend that $1 million? What's the first thing you would do with it?
Assuming I don't have any debt, buy a house. Yeah, right?
Love it.
Is that like a good investment? Man, I'd be buying a house probably daggum.
Daggum.
I don't know, probably either. I'm not, that's a good thought. We should talk about that as well. Where would you, if you could settle down somewhere right now, where would you want to settle down? Like you're not moving again. As a side note,
honestly,
I don't know if I could pick.
I would pick either Maine or Colorado. Yeah.
Have you been to Maine?
Not one time.
Have you been to Colorado?
Not one time. No.
Then how do you know?
That's the adventure. That's the thrill of it. Just buying a house in a random location.
That's true.
Wow, that's literally something I've done just right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I've always wanted to visit Colorado. I just think it's an awesome place, and I think it'd be a cool place to settle down, man. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe because I've never seen mountains before in the States, and to be living in a pretty mountainous country.
Oh man,
I could just move to Tennessee if I wanted to, but
yeah.
And then Maine just seems so quiet and so away from everything, and just like more nature and just like I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Between the two.
I'd probably move to. I probably would move to Asheville, North Carolina, if I had to pick. I'm still all about that place.
You need
or Nashville. That'd be good too.
Oh, and we can go to the greenhouse bar.
Yeah, that might be too busy for me, but anyway, I'm not sure. What would you do with the money thing?
I would definitely take the $1 million in 10 years. I can be patient.
I know. I knew you'd say that.
You just know me so well, don't you?
Well,
you just think you have my life so figured out.
You went skydiving. You can just
get on this podcast. No. You think what? I went skydiving once.
Didn't you?
Yeah, I did. But what's that got to do with how I want my money?
You're spontaneous and adventurous, and risk your life.
It was really planned, and I thought about my life over and over again before I got in that plane. Do you want to go skydiving?
I do. Yes.
Let's do that when I get back.
Oh, man.
Are you down?
Yeah, everyone hold us accountable. Check in later.
Yes.
6 months from now.
Here we are.
If we're going skydiving.
here we are, March 1st, 2020. Jesse and Justin are going to go skydiving together.
Oh, my God.
We're going to make it happen.
But
yeah, so $1 million in 10 years. I'm living a nice, cushy life right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine. I don't need 100,000 tomorrow. And like you said, I'm not smart enough or brilliant enough to turn that $100,000 into more money. I mean, I'm investing into stocks right now blindly. I'm saying this publicly on this podcast. I mean, I'm just tossing money into random stocks, Netflix, Apple, some gas company. I mean, I'm just doing it just because I was told to do that.
You got that Robinhood?
Monitored. Yeah.
I had that. I made a little bit off Tesla, and then I sold all my Tesla stocks. I had like 15 stocks, right?
I didn't know you were investing over there.
I did for a minute, and then I quit because it was like too much to think about. So I bought them all about $270 each, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'm gonna put a lot into this, and then I sold it all for probably I think 300 something a share because I got tired of thinking about it, and I made a little bit off of it, right? And then I'm not kidding, like 3 months later, it jumps up to about $8.50 a share.
No,
I was like, man, I could have made 500. Times 15.
Yeah, more money, yeah. Dang, dude. Yeah, so, I mean,
I don't want to think about it.
It's gotten to that point where, it's just like, I might as well just keep doing it. It's fine. I'm not trying to, it's not like this, I'm more of the low risk, low reward kind of person, and that goes with my like retirement plan, all that kind of stuff.
Dude, get those stocks that get the dividends. You got that?
Yes.
Yeah, those are the ones.
I don't even know what dividend, no, I'm kidding. Yeah, no, totally.
I don't know much.
I'm trying to become more responsible, more of an adult with this kind of stuff. You got to think about your future all the time, and that's something I've never thought about for so long. I was just always living in the present, but now have like been so focused on my future and like I got to think about what's going to happen here and then. And so now, if you think about $1 million from 10 years from now, it's like I don't know. I just feel like I'm still being in the military because. I'm definitely a lifer, and at that point it'll be 18 years. And here I am thinking like, I'm gonna try to stay in until they say I have to get out. That kind of thing. Like, I want to get to the point where I don't have to make a decision for me and be like, okay, it's time for me. I just want to keep going until whenever.
I wish I had that. I think a big reason why I stay in is because of you. In the back of my mind, I'm like, well, Justin's still in. Well,
if that's how you're going to think, then we're in for 30, my man.
Oh, they're not going to keep me for 30. I can say that right now. Oh, yes, they
will.
No.
Have they seen Big Haircut?
It's funny, man. We're like night and day kind of thing. All right. And that's fine.
A little bit.
Yeah. And they ain't going to keep me for 30. They ain't going to keep me for 30. I can tell you that.
I mean,
I don't know.
We'll see what happens. We're talking about the future now.
Word.
But yeah, it's an interesting question. I'd like to know if there are people that would choose $100,000 tomorrow. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of people. They are like, I don't know. They're not that happy. They constantly have to think about finances. And they're like, what's the one thing that'll make me really happy and solve all these issues?
Yeah.
Oh, $100,000. Boom. I get it tomorrow. I'm good. I got back on my feet. I can do this. I get that. But for me personally, I'll take that times 100. Is my math right? 100,000 times 100? Yeah. That's not right. Yes, it is. Good. Math in public. Am I wrong?
No.
I should have done that.
You said 100,000? Isn't that
100,000 times 100? Is that $1 million?
Times 10.
Times 10.
Right?
I just threw the mic down. Yeah, it's times 10.
Times 100, you're looking at like
I want 100 million.
Billion.
I want 100 million. A billion? It is a billion. Oh my gosh. I'm going to edit this part of the episode, so I'm not embarrassed.
Wait, you said, no, you're right, 100 million.
Yes, God. 100 million.
I just screwed up too.
Oh, good. No, man. I'm going to keep this in the show because we both messed up. Everything is good. So here we are. We're at the 44-minute mark.
I got a question for you.
The witching hour. Yeah.
I think about 2 weeks ago, I threw up on my Instagram story. Like, it was before
Time out. Sorry. You mentioned Instagram story, your Instagram story.
Yeah.
Those that are listening and follow Jesse, can you please tell the people what last night in swiping up, I died.
What happened?
I died when you threw that phone in the refrigerator.
Oh,
Hey, did you swipe up? What happened? Where did that come? Where? Please.
I saw
please tell
some.
me
You
more.
know, you see those ads on your Instagram story, and then it'll be some
Just
random
swipe up.
person walking
Yeah.
up to some person and being like, "Yo," like in the gym, "Yo, dude, where'd you get that shirt?" He's like, "Oh, I got this from so and so threads. You know, go to www.this, swipe up for more." And I just thought that was the weirdest interaction. And I was like, I just want to make fun of that. Walk up to people and be like, "Hey, do you like my shirt? Just swipe up." And so yeah, I was just like doing that, and I don't know, go to my. Well, you won't see it now. By the time this airs, it's gone. Too late. Sorry.
You missed it.
But I
It
just
was the
made fun
best
of
thing
that.
ever. It was the best thing ever, especially after
So
Jesse
stupid.
said something, and then he just stared at the camera.
I was
And
really.
just let the camera roll. And I was like, and it's funny because you were doing it because you were making fun of someone. Today I posted. I was in the gym. And I recorded myself lifting weights, but I put the font like all over myself so you couldn't see it. And I was I was saying something like, "I'm lifting really strong, heavy weight right now, but you can't see because I strategically put the camera on whatever." Because I always see on Instagram you got people that always constantly with the gym videos, and then they'll put at the bottom like their stats like 225, 10 reps, and they do it so like the camera you can't really see the weights, but you focus on their muscles and the bar. So then I'm like, are you really doing 225 10 times? So it made me think. I had to do a little jab at them because I'm weird like that. But here, you and I, we're just making fun of people like that on our Instagram story.
I love it. Well, I was gonna.
Back to your question. I completely cut you off. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, about 2 weeks ago, before the last podcast, I put on my story just like any random questions anyone wants me to talk about, and I forgot about it last week. So I got them here, and then we'll say most of all my friends that participate are just trolling me. Okay, so I'm not going to read
Any
off.
beaver questions?
Yeah, Kyle said beavers. I think he's dying for us to talk about beavers.
Maybe episode 25.
Kyle, I'll tell you what. Kyle, if you're listening, send in a minute-long video. Send it to, I'll give you an email. I'll text you, Kyle. Just let me know. Send a minute-long video of you talking about beavers and how passionate you are. A minute long, and we're going to put it in this. We're going to put this.
Love that.
We're going to lay this thing. We're going to put it to sleep. Anyway, let's see. What Katie said, my girlfriend Katie said to my thing, she's like, "Why are you wearing camo? Gross." So sad. I like that camo shirt.
Yeah,
You know?
I liked it. I wasn't expecting to see the shirt and the teaser, and then for a second there, I lost you. Like,
I get gone, dog.
that was stupid.
And then Colton says, "What are your thoughts on mayonnaise and hot dogs?"
Do they mix?
No, I'm not answering that. He's trolling.
Okay.
All
Sorry,
right.
Colton, I tried.
Here's one. The Turner Podcast. Shout out to you. Thanks for participating.
Turner.
And he says, "What's the strangest food you've ever seen?" Can you think of anything?
The strangest food you've ever seen or eaten? Seen.
Either one, I guess. But yeah, you just said seen. I can't think about strangest food. Haggis.
I'm thinking like, yeah, I've seen I've seen haggis, and then I went to Scotland and I had full intention when I sat down. I had full intention to order some. I was like, let's do this. Let's make it happen. Then I open up the menu, I look at the food, and I go straight to haggis, and there's a picture of it, and that's why I'm like, I'll take the fish and chips, please, and completely changed my mind. So I'm sure that probably would have been the weirdest food I've eaten. Outside of that, man, that's tough. I wasn't ready for that question, and I can't think off the top of my head what's the weirdest food I've eaten. Because
I can't either.
I'm not picky. I love eating different types of food or whatever. I like trying it, but there's a limit for me. Like if something sounds nasty or sounds like something I shouldn't be eating, then I'm not going to do it. Why even do it? Is this a good mythical morning where I can just eat and get 1,000 views? No.
Oh man, I say what we do one day is we get some really, really hot peppers, and at the start of it, and at the halfway point, we eat one each.
Oh my
time.
God.
And then we have to talk about.
Do you watch Hot Ones on YouTube?
Yeah. Yeah.
I always wanted to because like you can buy the hot sauces on Amazon.
Oh, I got
So
them.
I've always wanted to like.
I got the last dab.
Do you got the last dab?
I've got 3 of theirs. Yeah, I got the last dab too.
Do you have the bomb?
No, I've had it. No, I've had it before a couple times.
Because that's the one that always gets everyone. Like it's number 7, I think. And every time someone gets to the bomb, that's when they lose it. Like
Here's what I think about those two is the hot ones is technically hotter, but it doesn't linger as long. And the bomb it's just really hot for sure, but it's got a bitter hotness and not as much of a flavor really, but it lingers forever. And I think it's because
you can handle spiciness pretty well, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So
how'd you handle those?
I mean they're hot. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
the bomb I think is worse. I think it's harder. I think it's harder and lasts longer. I think it's the way it's made. Like I think it's made from like extracts and stuff. I think which can be, I think it can linger a lot longer.
I like your idea though.
I'm not sure.
I like. That's a season 2 idea. Right
yeah,
there.
We're gonna revamp for season 2, aren't we? I say what we do is get a new intro song. We'll get like I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We got a little bit of brainstorming to do.
Yeah.
Probably won't drink beer and coffee. We'll just take straight shots and snort coke. Here at Brew Your Mind, that's what we do. Season 2, we're savage. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. What other questions you got? Sorry, Turner. I'll shoot you a message and let you know if I come across anything else. But I'm a pretty normal person. I guess I've seen normal things.
I got 3 from my good friend Chris V, who's the singer of the music project I'm in, called Dunes, and that is spelled. You guys got a song come out, right? DVNES. Yeah, you want to hear a clip of it on the speaker right here?
Yeah.
Chris V said favorite place and food you would never eat for any amount of money. So while you're thinking about that, you want me to play a snip of it? He sent me vocals he did. I'll pull it up into the Dropbox. He sent me vocals he did. No, I don't want to put the actual file in here over top. Is that what you're going to ask?
I was thinking if you want to play a little clear, like a little 10-second snippet, we can put into the...
I'll just play it through the microphone now, so it's like a hint of it. But we should be getting that done, this song done, by April. So
that's awesome. Make sure you guys go check them out on Spotify. Are you guys on anything else but Spotify?
iTunes or Apple Music, Google Play. Dunes, DVNES. All right.
That's right.
There's only 2 songs. But here's
the link in the description.
Here's the intro.
And scene.
That's it.
I like that.
Yeah, that's all you get.
Go check out what they got. I still listen to the first song you guys dropped.
Yeah. Chris V, amazing singer, amazing dude. What a great guy. I have great people in my life. You know, we're all puzzle pieces and we fit together. You know what I mean? Interesting. I took another one of those Enneagram tests as real quick. I was bored at work. And, you know, there was the one that we took, which was like kind of identified the letter ones?
Mm-hmm.
ENFP and all that stuff. Well, there's another one that's similar, I think, but they just they break it down to like numbers 1 through 9 and little small variations. I took that. Well, I got on that website and I was like, well, I'll take this test. It was like 144 questions. I looked at it and it had a description of all the types, and I was like, well, I know I'm going to be type number 7, I bet. And then I was like, I'll take it anyway. Took it very slowly. What's my result? The enthusiast.
You got yourself figured out.
The enthusiast. I do, but I was like, maybe I'll be a balance of something else. Not really. Can't do it. But it was interesting.
You are.
I put that on my Instagram story, and I had a lot of people throwing out like, hey, I guess a lot of other people knew what they were. And it's so funny because like some of my friends would tell me what numbers they were, and like Chris told me he was a 6, I think. And I was reading about it. I was like, man, that's 1,000,000% him. it's so weird how sort of weird accurate those things can be sometimes. Or do we trick ourselves into thinking they're accurate? I don't know.
It's a trick. Life's a trick. But where's the best place that you've seen or visited? Going back to Chris's question.
Oh, Lord. Best.
You asked the question and you weren't ready.
I know.
You had all this time to think about it.
Do you have one? Yeah, I'm sure you do. You've been around.
Yeah, I think it's a toss-up between the Dead Sea and the Blue Lagoon in Iceland. Those two places.
Wait a minute.
I can't deal with it. There's no other.
I'm mad at you.
I can't deal with it.
You went to Iceland?
Mad at me? Yes.
How did I not know that?
I don't know, because that was during the time where you hated me, I disliked you, we didn't talk.
Yeah, right. Did you go there for work or just like a trip?
Leisure, yes. It was just a trip.
Oh yeah, I guess there's really not much work.
By far, one of the most amazing places I've been with like the waterfalls, the black sand beach, but the Blue Lagoon was just out of the world. I mean, here we are in this warmest water, and we're getting pelted with like ice pellets / snow, and I couldn't have been happier. Like I was loving life. And then that and the Dead Sea just floating there, like no big deal.
Jeez.
And just like the history behind it, it was just amazing. Those two places, definitely top of my list. But what about you?
I mean, Alaska's pretty cool, I guess. If I had
From what I've seen in the pictures you've taken, Alaska looks pretty damn amazing.
Yeah, it's
You flew in a helicopter around Alaska, didn't you?
I've flown a few times here. I'm lucky enough.
awesome.
I have friends. Shout out to Caleb and Andrew.
Shout out Caleb.
They've got they got a little Cessna, little tiny thing. So I've gone up with them a few times, and
That's so awesome.
went in a little. I'm gonna say it wrong. Float plane, I think. The one with the little things that floats in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Went one. That was one time we landed right next to a glacier. It was cool.
What?
It was all right. I mean, it was cool. I'd been out there a lot before because we had to camp out there for work. So we camping next to a glacier. Yeah, right next to it. It's not fun. It's cold, windy air coming off that thing all the time. So it's cool, but it's not as cool as it sounds at times. Not for 9 days in a row.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I probably right now I don't know if Alaska is my favorite place, but by far it's pretty mind blowing, all the stuff you can see. But I definitely want to do some more traveling like you've done. Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
I want to get to this last. You had a last little thing you wanted to talk about, which was kind of interesting. I think I don't know anything about it. You sent it to me.
If it's about the jersey, we might save that for the episode after the episode.
Oh yeah, because we're running up. So yeah, it's about that old Garth, ain't it? Mm-hmm. Garth Brooks wearing a jersey.
If you guys want to hear us talk about Garth Brooks wearing a Barry Sanders jersey, make sure you go to the YouTube channel, and that's where you'll find. This is something new that we're doing, where we're gonna have a little additional content, 5 to 10 minutes, that you won't hear on the podcast, but you'll see at the YouTube channel. This is a chance for you to, check out something different. So go there if you want to hear us talk about that. And there's also something else that we're going to talk about that's pretty serious and pretty alarming. I actually don't know. That was supposed to be clickbait for you guys to go. And
I was scared.
Anything good?
I didn't know what was happening. You got me.
I know. I should have just kept running with it because all you guys have been like, "Oh my gosh, we got to go over to the YouTube channel." But no, go check it out. It'll be us talking about it more.
Oh yeah.
Talking.
YouTube, Brew Your Mind Pod is it's one word. All right, it'll be in our description of this podcast. Mm-hmm. It'll be on our Instagram. Mm-hmm. Brew Your Mind Pod. Are we going to throw it on the main one or the clips one? Both.
I say whatever.
We'll just call it extra.
Works.
We'll do it on both.
Yeah.
And we'll just title it.
Yeah. Little bonus content, free of charge, my people. And as we close this down, I have one thing I want to say, and that would be if there's any coffee or beer that you guys would like us to try, or your favorites or something, just shout it out. We'll see if we can make it happen. But I know I'm not really starting to run out of things to drink, but I know for the coffee side, it's not easy to have a new coffee every episode because you have to buy it by the bag.
Yeah, I had to do that yesterday.
I did the same thing. I think it was like a month ago. Ordered 2 separate bags from Amazon, and now they're still like half full because I just haven't gotten to them. So I'm gonna have like a whole cupboard full of like half drunk coffee here soon. So if there's anything that you guys can think of that you'd like us to try, let us know. And then as we have done the last 2 weeks, it's my week to ask you a brain teaser.
Oh God, I forgot all about that.
Yeah,
I want to fail again. Fresh. All right,
on your toes. This is not why we're doing it. Okay.
All right, ask me away. I believe in you.
The excitement in the tone of your voice is amazing.
Because I know it's just gonna be. I'm really bad with these.
No, this one's tough.
All right.
I say that because I don't want to say it's easy, and then all of a sudden you feel bad that I said it's easy and you don't get it. So it's tough.
Okay.
Arnold Schwarzenegger has a long one. Michael J. Fox has a short one. Madonna doesn't use one. And the Pope doesn't either. What is it?
Last name.
Nailed it. Nailed it. Gave the listeners no time. No time to think about it.
Yeah, you're right.
Just spoiled it for him. So, hey, that's awesome. I knew you'd get that one. I had so much confidence. I didn't want to say it, though, because that's just so much pressure built up. And you think about it, and you don't get it, and then I feel like a trash friend.
Did you make like a trash friend? Did you give me an easy one this week because you knew?
No.
Yeah, right. I can hear that. No.
I asked that. That didn't sound convincing at all, I know. No, I asked that one because I actually really like that one because, like, I felt like it was one I could maybe get if I was asked it, but at the same time, I'd probably overthink it and be like, oh, they're asking about celebrities and famous people. I have no idea what they're talking about and just not get it right. So
I like that.
Congrats, man. For getting that. Cheers to you.
I get a mug. I get a mug.
There's a mug coming your way. Yeah. So enjoy the Brew Your Mind mug. Is there anything that you'd like to say to you guys listening? Is there anything you want to say?
Again, if you want to see this in video, it's on YouTube. All right, it'll be on YouTube. I think by the time this is up on podcast, it's been about the day after.
Whoa.
But expect it either on a Monday or Tuesday. We'll get it down. But yeah, I just want to say thanks again for all the encouragement the past. Several weeks, honestly, from everyone. It means a lot when you take a minute to just shoot a message or even some kind of encouragement at all, or you share it. That's a big deal because we really want this to succeed and turn it into something. Just get the snowball rolling, you know. But yeah, I think we both really enjoy this idea. We're both really excited and passionate about it. And what I hope to do is just to continue, not that I'm an expert on anything, but hopefully this can help someone out through their week at times. This can just make your morning maybe a minute of laughter or something to think about. You know, I was texting you, dude. Like, someone sent me a super heartfelt message, and it just blew my mind because, you know, you don't have any idea what people think of you or what they're going through or how they can relate. Just one person sending the message, it's already meant the world to me. And I feel like mission is accomplished, but I just want to keep doing more of encouraging people and whatever, making anybody's day a little bit better, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. That the whole purpose of this podcast is to do that. And whenever we see a shout out or a message saying, hey, whatever, or there's even been a few reviews dropped on the iTunes Apple Podcast app that are brand new because we were stuck on a number for a little bit and now it's jumped up a little bit. So that means a lot, and it definitely helps us think about new ways to keep you engaged and keep you entertained, because if we're not getting anything from you guys, then we're thinking about, okay, what do we need to do differently? What's going wrong? What's happening? So The encouragement's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Greatly appreciate it. You guys are awesome. And the Brew Crew, that's what you guys are. Stolen.
Oops.
Hashtag stolen.
I forgot to say that.
You did. You screwed up in the intro. I'm kidding. That was a little harsh. That's it for us, though. That's it for this week. Episode 24. We're going to be back again next week. Episode 25 for the season finale. We'll try to, come in hot. No lid. No one gets that. Only you. And don't forget to check out the YouTube channel, like you mentioned, for the additional content that we're about to record right after this. So hope you guys have a great week. Hope you enjoyed the episode. And don't forget to brew your mind.
See you, Justin.